We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginnings to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I appreciate that.
Okay, all right. We're time to it's time to get up. Thursday. To me like it's Friday. Time to rise and shine if you can, because you're on top of the ground one more day, and the ground's not on top of you. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is Decisions. You know why we call it that? Because everything we do in life requires us to make them. And even when we don't make them, we just made one. So everybody, nobody gets out of making decisions. The question is, what would your decision be? Good morning. I'm Kevin Elkins. I know it's a weird name, but that's the one my mama gave me. I'm stuck with it. Stuck with it. I wonder what Kevin Smith would sound like. My name is Kevin Smith. Yeah, that don't ring. Anyway, next up is our daily bread, because that's one of the first things we do first thing in the morning. We give praise to the one who gave us all. That's the good Lord above. So we'll be back. So don't go any place. You know, you get some now that it's called our daily bread. Okay. So everybody needs bread, right? Everybody needs a daily bread because we all got to eat, right? It's important what you eat. It really is. Trust me. I mean, donuts and all that stuff, it's good, but it may not be good for you. But this is good for you. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes here after we go to our daily bread. Okay? So hang loose. We'll be back after this. Okay? Seriously, we will be.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading titled Getting What We Want was written by Tim Gustafson. Aaron Burr anxiously awaited the result of the tie-breaking vote from the U.S. House of Representatives. Deadlocked with Thomas Jefferson in the 1800 race for the presidency, Burr had reason to believe that the House would declare him the winner. However, he lost, and bitterness gnawed at his soul. Nurturing grievances against Alexander Hamilton for not supporting his candidacy, Burr killed Hamilton in a gun duel less than 4 years later. Outraged by the killing, his country turned its back on him, and Burr died a dour old man. Political power plays are a tragic part of history. When King David was nearing death, his son Adonijah recruited David's commander and a leading priest to make him king. But David had chosen Solomon as king. With the help of the prophet Nathan, the rebellion was put down. Despite his reprieve, Adonijah plotted a second time to steal the throne, and Solomon had him executed. How human of us to want what's not rightfully ours. No matter how hard we pursue power, prestige, or possessions, it's never quite enough. We always want something more. How unlike Jesus, who Philippians 2:8 says, humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. Ironically, selfishly pursuing our own ambitions never brings us our truest, deepest longings. Leaving that outcome to God is the only path to peace and joy. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 1 Kings chapter 1, verse 5, and verses 32 through 37. Now Adonijah, whose mother was Haggith, put himself forward and said, I will be king. So he got chariots and horses ready with 50 men to run ahead of him. King David said, Call in Zadok the priest, Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada. When they came before the king, he said to them, Take your Lord's servants with you, and have Solomon my son mount my mule, and take him down to Gihon. There have Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet anoint him king over Israel. Blow the trumpet and shout, Long live King Solomon. Then you are to go up with him, and he is to come and sit on my throne and reign in my place. I have appointed him ruler over Israel and Judah. Benaiah son of Jehoiada answered the king, Amen. May the Lord, the God of my lord the king, so declare it. As the Lord was with my lord the king, so may he be with Solomon to make his throne even greater than the throne of my lord King David. Let's pray. Dear God, we are constantly at war with our own desires. We want what we want, and nothing else matters. We know that you want more of us, though. So please help us focus our minds on you and what you want for us. May our every action be honoring to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening. I'm Stephen, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries. Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread.
Okay, we got that one all ready. So now we pay homage to our armed forces of these United States: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. Did I get the Coast Guard? Because sometimes I forget they're actually a member of the service. They really are the Coast Guard. So they play an invaluable role. I don't exactly know what they do, but I know in the Bering Sea, Kevin Costner played that guy who jumped in the Bering Sea. The Bering Sea to save people. Do you know how dedicated you have to be to take a job where you go in the ocean when it is cold outside? The Bering Sea in the darkness with a helicopter that may fall down because it's made by men. So I got to tell you something. Jumping out of airplanes ain't nothing compared to jumping in the Bering Sea in the middle of the night when it's cold. Okay, I'm just telling you. Listen, you have. I don't know who those guys are, the Coast Guard, whatever. I'm just telling you, those are some special people who do that. I just got to tell you. Anyway, let's pay homage to our salute to our armed forces, and we'll be back.
Over hill, over dale, we will hit the dusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along. In and out, hear them shout, cows are marching all about, and those caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high day in the field artillery. Count out your numbers, let's count 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And wherever you go, you will always know that those caissons go rolling along. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail and break on day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, hail to the morn. Until we meet once more, it's wishing you a happy voyage home. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in Thee. Through howling gale and shot and shell to win our victory. Sandberg Horizons is our guide, our pledge, our motto too. We're always ready to or die. I coast on, we fight for you. On we go into the wide blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, soon to lead our thunder. Attaboys, give it the gun. And we dive, starting a flame from under, off with one terrible roar. We live in vain, we're down in vain, for nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First we fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor free. We are proud to claim the title of United States of the
Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and all right. Okay. We got enough. We good. Okay, we got that. We love them, but okay, not that much. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Now I have to do my one thing, because it's like my Friday, so I have to play you guys my words of inspiration for today. It don't last long. Okay, then we get because I learned this as I was looking at the bill last night, as I was looking at the reason why the government is shut down, and I looked at all the things that the Democrats are complaining about. And ladies and gentlemen, I made a discovery that most people, it's right in front of us, but we don't see it. And I'm telling you something, when I am going to enlighten you today on something that you probably knew inside your brain, but you never been able to verbalize it because we just couldn't figure it out. Well, I figured it out. It's an amazing thing. Listen, one thing about the Democrats, I'm going to give them credit. Listen, they tell you what they're going to do, and they go out and do it. Republicans wimp all the time. They want to wimp out on you. Okay, well, we're going to be rough and tough, and I mean, they can say law and order. We want some law and order. Well, who doesn't? That's a platitude. Because who can disagree we want law and order? I mean, what, as opposed to chaos and crime? Huh? Come on, man. But the Democrats, the Democratic Party, I'm telling you, they have come up with something better than crack cocaine. Okay, and I know what it is. I know what it is. Listen, I should get a Nobel Peace Prize for what I'm going to tell you guys today. Okay, I should, but we'll I've never heard anybody say it, although they may have insinuated it, but they never really came out and said it. Well, today is your lucky day because I live in your town. So you're going to find out what it is, okay? And it will astound you, okay? It will astound you, okay? All right? Well, I am going to be at the Veterans Wellness Center today, but it's going to be we're just going to do a live podcast it won't be live. So I'm going to go. So I got to leave here about a half hour early today, but I got to go over there and do theirs. Veterans Wellness Center on 5911 Monticello Drive. So if you want to meet me over there, come out and have fun with the old veterans over there. Feel free to do that. Okay. So that's where I'll be today for about an hour or so. So I got to leave here a half hour early, but I will be over there. I will, but so I'm going to be with you guys, but I had to come and tell you guys this amazing piece of information as I look at the wish list of the Democratic Party in Washington, D.C. Now, I'm not going to stop saying Democrats. As I looked at the upper echelon of the Democratic Party in Washington, D.C., the things the reason why they don't mind shutting down the government, brother, I'm telling you, it's an amazing thing. And y'all blaming this on the Republicans. Oh, no. But we'll come back right after this because today's thing is don't limit God. Put an extra T in there, but I don't think you remind that. I got big fingers. So I'll be saying, okay, don't limit God because he only limits us when it's for our own good. Okay, so we shall return. Uno dos tres cuatro momento. I'm learning Spanish.
God will use the foolish things to confound the wise. God can use a man without arms and legs to be his hands and feet, to prove that it's not about Nick. It's not about his ability. It's not about him and his strength and how he speaks all around the world and uses his hands greatly as gestures and body language while he gets excited preaching. It's not about me. It's about Jesus. I didn't write my story. Jesus wrote my story. He knew me before the earth began. And I don't know about you, but yeah, it's good to have a job. It's good to have a relationship and get married and have kids. It's good to have that stuff. But until you find Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, there will be always something missing. You can't rely on you because you will fail you every single time, just about. I needed him, not just because of this, but for my heart, for my mind. By the grace of God, he kept me here on earth, even though I tried to commit suicide at age 10. The bullying at my school convinced me that I was a mistake, that I'd never eventuate to anything. Man, what a lie. When you realize it's just the devil, I say just the devil because the devil's nothing compared to Jesus. I was listening to the encouragement my parents were saying, but then listening to the lies at the same time. The lies saying, you're not good enough, Nick, just give up. No, I am wonderfully and fearfully made according to Psalm 139. Oh, Nick, you should just give up. No, I can't do.
Let me give you a little history on this, Nick. He has no arms. He has no legs. He was born that way. And his whole life, he's had to do things a different kind of way. So just give you some background on him.
Strengthens me. At age 10, I didn't believe the truth because I wasn't running the race. I wasn't in the right race. The race where it's not just getting things in your life and doing things and having things. What happens after you get married? You think you're the happiest person alive. You need to talk to some married people first. Amen?
Amen.
All right, so then after you get married, and I love my wife, trust me. But if you're not happy single in Jesus, then you're not going to be happy married. Amen? It's not about me. It's not about my ability. It's not anything about that. It's all about Jesus. It's not about what you have or what you don't have, or what you wish you had or what you wish you didn't have. It's all about Jesus, that no matter where you are in your life right now, if you ask God to forgive you of your sin and you repent of your sin, God will come into your life, forgive you of your sin. You'll receive His life, His blessings, His life eternal, and His life's plan for your life. Not my plan. I don't want my plan. Sometimes we just need to get over ourselves and actually realize that sometimes God actually has a better plan. I suggest a plan to God and He doesn't say anything sometimes. But we got to understand that God's ways are higher than ours and thoughts are higher than ours. And I showed that video for the summary of my testimony. And I want you to know in your life, I don't know what you're going through, but God does. If I have Jesus, I have everything I need. Now, does that mean I don't have a pair of shoes in my closet just in case He says yes to me? No, I do have a pair, okay? Just in case, okay? I want to be ready. But what we need healing first is in the inside, and to hear the voice of God. Hearing the voice of God, when you hear a phone ring, you pick it up. Okay? When you're sometimes dialing into heaven and it feels like He's not picking up, don't hang up on God. He's listening. I hung up on God because I didn't understand His plan. God said through my parents, Nick, God's got a plan for your life. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. I have a hope, plan in the future. I'm like, no way. There's no race like that. There's no heaven. There's no God. Look at all the pain in the world. If God loved the world, then why is He letting so much pain happen? Later on, you realize in the Bible, God doesn't give us pain, but whatever the enemy tried to use for bad, God turned into good. I can't do anything with my broken pieces, but there's nothing that God cannot do. I've seen pain. I've seen miracles. God allows things that we don't understand, but I want you to know if you hold on to Him, He'll hold on to you. If you trust in the Lord with all your heart, even when you cannot walk, He'll carry you. When you don't get a miracle, you can still be a miracle. I don't need what the world can give me. I want what Jesus wants to give me. What do you think I rather want? One more person to live forever, or have a little bit more money? What do you take with you? Nothing. Nothing. Not your garden, not your car, not your nothing. Just you, your soul. And the encouragement you've planted all around you, hopefully souls to come with you. I can only imagine. Now, don't handcuff me because of my doctrine, but I just like this illustration. Imagine God sees me and He says, well done, my good and faithful servant. Welcome home. And then He sort of looks over my shoulder and says, who'd you bring? Amen? I want to run that race, the race that matters, the race that counts. And I'd rather be paralyzed in the arms of Jesus in that race than be the first prize winner and runner in any other race. God will use the foolish things to confound the wise. God can use a man without arms and legs to be his hands and feet, to prove that it's not about Nick. It's not about his ability. It's not about him and his strength and how he speaks all around the world and uses his hands greatly.
This is the young man right there. He has no arms, no legs, and he says no problem. He goes around the world pretty much being a motivational speaker for lots and lots of people. And if you think your life is rough, if you think you have a hard time, well, I don't think I don't think I wouldn't know what to do in that situation. But I would imagine, just like he has overcome with the help of God. And listen, if he can do something, you can do something. Okay, it's just a matter of knowing where your priorities are. Okay, I'm just saying. So don't give me the boo-hoo story and all that stuff. You know, there are a lot of people a lot worse off than you are this morning. Okay, a lot worse off than I am too. All right. Anyway, good morning to you. How you doing? How's everybody doing this morning? Okay. Let me give you okay. And it gives you. I thought you were going. Yeah. I am going to be okay. I got something else right here too, though. Okay. Da, 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 da. Hold on. I'm getting you guys in a second because today the word of the day is now. If you go to my Facebook page, I always got the word of the day. Okay, and the word of the day is gumption. Okay, and it is something that is woefully missing in our world today. Gumption, and it means common sense, horse sense, enterprise, and initiative. The word initiative is one that most young folks today don't even know what it means. Okay. But it means being able to do things without having me look over your shoulder, without having me have to tell you everything. It's one of the greatest leadership qualities that you can have. Okay. Take charge. Get it done. You see something, get it done. Don't wait till somebody tells you. You can just do it yourself. Okay. I'm just telling you that's what you might want to think about. All right. So, what else we're going to talk about today? Okay, so last night I'm looking at why is the government, which and we go through this just about every year, at least if not every year, every other year. Okay, but before we get to that, it seems that Governor Ivey must be the election year or something like that. Election year, I guess. So we'll see. Governor Ivey declares October HBCU month. Okay, HBCU month. Okay, I mean historically Black colleges and universities. Now, me personally, yeah, I don't really care if they call it that because, well, and I'm not one to go back to the past, but uh, why do we have to have it? Well, everybody knows why we had to have it. Okay, ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt. Everybody knows why we had to have HBCUs. Okay, my question is that, and I know a couple of those HBCUs are outstanding institutions, but most of them, only 22% of the people go there actually graduate. All these years, 22%. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is. I mean, some people go to school just to get the and that's in all the schools, just to get the student loan so they can, do the things they want to do and never end up getting a degree. But however, why do we, and see, this is what I hate about the South. You start talking about these things and you cannot help but go back to why these things had to be created. They had to be created because those that were in charge decided that a certain group of people did not deserve to be and get the same kind of education they did. I feel you, and you can't help it. I just wish she had shut up about this, but she declares October HBCU month. Now, how many HBCUs are there in the state of Alabama? Believe it or not, there are 14. Like, we don't have enough schools in the state of Alabama already, but we got 14. Alabama A&M University in Huntsville, Alabama State University in Montgomery, Bishop State Community College in Mobile, Gadsden State Community College, J.F. Drake State Community College and Technical in Huntsville, Lawson State Community College, Birmingham and Bessemer, Miles College. I've heard of that one though. Oakwood University in Huntsville. Huntsville's got a lot of, well, they do have rocket scientists in Huntsville though. Selma University, Shelton State Community College in Tuscaloosa, Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Talladega College, Trenton State Community College in Montgomery, and Tuskegee Universities. Those are the HBCUs of Montgomery. And actually, what we ought to just have is Alabama and Auburn. Okay, they're the ones who get the big money. I mean, we all just have Alabama and Auburn. Now we have splintered off to 14 different schools, and I don't know what the percentage of people who graduate who go to those schools are, but it's not very high. Although, tell you the truth though, and just to be honest, I think it's less than 50% in regular schools. It's a money machine. It's a money machine. I mean, that's schools become a money machine. And Lord have mercy, we're going to have to stop going to college, taking up crap like business administration. It's over. Those days are gone. AI is here. It's here to stay. It's not going anyplace. So you better learn how to use AI, because that's just going to have your job. Okay, that's going to have your job. Now, AI can't fix an air condition. AI can't fix your car. Okay, it can help diagnose your car, but it can't fix your car. It cannot put a wrench to your car. So you might want to learn how to do something with your hands, because AI, secretarial skills, almost we're not going to need them anymore. Oh, here's some. Oh, I love this one. The gender studies thing. Yeah, listen, if you ain't figured out between a man and a woman is by now, you probably don't need to be in college. I'm just saying. A lot of these colleges, especially some of our lower economic on the economic real colleges, they take people in college who have. Yeah, I know. I hear you, brother. You got a degree in business administration. You're right. Well, it's probably useless nowadays. And in the next 10 years, it won't even be relevant. AI is no joke. And when AI first came on the scene, I was telling everybody, okay, y'all sit around talking, you're clapping your hands now. AI, ooh, see what I can do? I mean, you don't even have to know how to write a story anymore. You can write a book by just telling AI what you want the book about. It can write the book for you. Okay. Now, I don't know if the information in the book is going to be true, but it can write a book for you. So we are going to have to change our education system to be able to enhance our lives and get jobs based on the structure of the systems in place we have today. We are still, let me put it this way. It is almost like AI got you fired from Kim. And the guy, no, that was Negroes who did that at the other station. Cumulus, the Negroes didn't like the fact that I had voted for Trump. Well, listen, in the morning they'd say, in the morning they'd say how racist he is. In the afternoon I said, nah, not really. And they just get mad. They got mad at me. I don't give a crap if they got mad at me. But anyway, now it wasn't AI, brother. It may have been a guy named AI, but it wasn't AI who got me canned. Cumulus, listen. And again, it's like anything else. The Bible says there's a time and a season for all things. And listen, to be able to hold on to a radio job in this day and time for 24 years is an accomplishment all in itself, because we just don't. Those jobs are, and soon as we get, as a matter of fact, Hollywood right now, Hollywood is worried about AI actors who look human, who act human, but they're not. And Hollywood right now, see, so even Hollywood star, and you know what? You can pay an AI star a hell of a lot less than you pay a real guy, a real person. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's true. Listen, business school was important back in those days. The philosophy of business, how to get customers, and we're not there anymore. We're just not there. I mean, you can walk around. Okay, go down to the employment office today on Southern Bypass. Go down there and find out who's down there in line. Okay. The Negro AI gang. Yeah, that's what that was all about. Listen, I ain't mad at it. And again, Malcolm X, I think it was Malcolm X or somebody said, if you don't own it, it ain't yours. Excuse my language, but it's not yours. And so let me tell you what let me tell you what that taught me. Okay, that taught me a whole lot of things. Uh, don't depend on anybody else for your survival. We have to figure out how to do it ourselves. Which gets me back to the thing that I was going to tell you a little while ago. Now, we'll move on to something else. And I gotta leave about 8:30 because I gotta go do something else at a podcast over at Veterans Wellness Center. We're gonna be doing that over there. Here's one. Here's one right there. So I used to love when people say this. Nobody can ever tell me what I say that's degrading to black people, since I'm a black people. So now, is telling the truth degrading people? Then it is not me we should be angry at. It is the people who are doing the stuff that we should do. We know better. Okay, as people, we know better. Okay, and so don't tell me that crap. You did degrade black people. Really, tell me one word I said degraded black people. I'm waiting for you, CO. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. Just put it on the screen right there, and I'll make sure I'll put it up there. So just give me one thing I ever say that degrade black folks. Okay, one thing. And the only thing that I constantly say is that no group of people should vote 98% for another group of people. Because when everybody's thinking the same, somebody's not thinking. Now, let me tell you, as I was perusing last night through my reasoning behind this issue with the government being shut down. And listen, we always worried about the government. Now, what the Democrats don't quite understand, though, is that if you shut the government down, the president of the United States can fire who he wants to work for the government. He can get rid of them. You don't have to have an excuse or anything. Just get rid of them. And so be careful what you ask for, because you might get it. But let me tell you what is so evident now that I never really realized before. So I went through the thing and find out what it is that they were so upset about. Okay. One of the things they're mad about: budget and continuing resolution language around Medicaid cuts and delays. Understood. Provisions around eligibility for immigrants, and roll back the old BBB changes. That's under the old BBB, Republicans had included provisions that would limit ACA marketplace access or eligibility for certain categories of immigrants. Okay. Cost, coverage, and analysis of the CBO independent groups. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimated that permanently extended the enhanced premium tax credit that would cost about $350 billion. Now, most of you don't want to understand this stuff, and I didn't understand most of it either. But you're gonna, I'm gonna put it all together here in a second. Okay. This is what we're gonna do: cost, coverage, and analysis of the CBO. Let's move on to something else. Okay. Let go. What else? Something else that the Democrats are worried about: Medicaid disproportionate share hospital, or DSH, cuts that were scheduled to take effect October the 1st, 2025. Okay. Now, here's another one. The Democratic continuing resolution failed in the Senate along party lines in September 19th. Okay, here's something else. Key Democrat proposal and amendments. Okay, that's what. Now, here's what we figured out. Everything that the Democrats want, it's the ability to encourage individuals to be dependent upon the government. They want more money for more food stamps. We call them SNAP. I don't know what the word SNAP means, but they call it SNAP. Okay? And everybody is getting food stamps. And just in case the woman said I'm talking about black folks, there are more white people on food stamps than black folks. If we just gotta go there, there's more white folks on food than black folks on food stamps. Okay. The Democratic Party, okay, they want money for public broadcasting. Okay, because they don't think that people in public broadcasting ought to go out the same way I used to have to do and sell to convince people to buy your product. So they want millions of dollars for public broadcasting. Nobody wants to hear that crap on the radio that they sell. Okay, so we the taxpayer got to turn around and pay for it. Okay, so that's it. Now, here's the deal. Every issue just about that the Democratic Party is upset about. Thank you very much. SNAP is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. And boy, don't that sound good? Oh man, listen. I mean, if I'm from outer space and I come down here and I'm saying, oh man, there's a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Oh man, hey, give me some of that. Okay. So we got all kind of names for them. Okay. As a matter of fact, Bush came up with this. What did Bush come up with? He came up with a name for people who are running out of food who ran out of money before they had enough food. What did he? Food security. Food security. Yeah, that's what he had. That's what he had. Okay. So big the big beautiful bill. That's true. And listen, Don, this is the South. Okay. This is the South, and this is what this is what they like to talk about down here. Okay, we like to talk about black folks and white folks. We do. That's just the way. Just live with it, brother. That's just the way. I've been doing this for a long time. That's what we like to talk about, because everything that happens to us, according to us, sometimes everything that happened to us because we were black, or because we wasn't black, or because we was white, or because we wasn't white. We everything happens to us. Now it has nothing to do with our personal, decisions. Okay. Listen, I didn't get nothing early. I don't belong to the Republican Party. I vote that way sometimes, but I have voted for Democrats too. Not because they was part of the Democratic Party, but because what they were saying made sense to me in some aspect. But let's get back to my thing here. If you notice, just about everything the Democrats fight for, do you see any connection in there? There's a connection there. I know I'm not the only person that see it. I'm probably going to be the only person that's going to verbalize it this morning. But do you know what it is? Okay. It's right in front of us. It is so clear until I don't know how I missed it all these years. But do you know what they fight for? Okay. Well, okay then. Somebody said, Big C, come on, man. I'm trying to do a serious show here. The difference with you being at the station versus now is that you at the station you have to dress up, but now you probably don't have any pants underwear on. No, that's not true. Let's wait. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Listen. I put on clothes. Okay. I put on clothes. I don't sit there like some people I know do. Okay. I put on clothes. Okay. I'm just saying. I put on clothes. I don't cheat the public. I don't sit here walk around with no clothes on. You know, I mean, there might be a fire or something. Now the police may knock at your door. They may get the wrong address or something. I put on clothes, brother. Now, let me tell you what the issue here is about the Democratic Party. Since nobody seems to there's nobody has figured this out yet. Nobody, and it's exactly the opposite of the Republican Party. And listen, both parties, both philosophies can use some tightening up. Both Republicans and because the Republicans get on me they get on my nerves sometime around election year. It's always about crime, and it is about a lot about crime. But we want to put everybody in jail forever. You know, everybody in jail forever, no matter what they. Oh man, you did that 3 times. Listen, I don't like crooks either. But I do understand that our society is partially responsible for some of the things these people do. We just are. It's our fault as a culture of people in this country. We allow fools to walk around with guns. You're not going to walk around with guns unless you are going to use it. Okay, we just do. So it's our fault too. It ain't just the crook's fault. It's our fault. And we as a society, we kind of now okay, see okay, now that's a good democratic answer question right there. I'm with you. I'm with you, and we're going to get to that. Now, if you haven't figured out yet what the issue is with the Democrats versus Republicans, because everything that Democrats fight for, it is a tool that makes you dependent upon government, because they have convinced you that you can't get your own groceries. Okay? They have convinced you that you need SNAP. Now, I don't know what the hell we did before food stamps. Well, I know what we did before we got food stamps back in the day. We ate what we could. Okay, we ate what we could, and our neighbors. Okay. Oh, well, I'm gonna tell you why I voted for this one Democrat. Okay, but everything they fight for is about making us slaves to their philosophy. Oh man, we're gonna give you health care. Well, I don't know if the government owes you health care. I don't know if that's not in the Constitution of the United States. I don't know if we owe you, but we do owe you an opportunity to make a living and make an environment that is conducive to you being able to make that living. But everything they fight for is about us being tethered to them. There's no independence. Okay, there's no, and they are fighting for illegal aliens too. Yesterday, I looked that up too. They won. Now, there's no federal programs that quote unquote entitle you to Medicaid and Medicare. However, there are programs, at least by states, that allow them to get emergency care. Now, I'm not really against that. We are human beings. And anytime we see somebody hurt or hungry, then I think we as individuals have a responsibility. I don't know if the government has a responsibility of taking from me and giving it to somebody else who I may not want to give it to. I don't know that. I mean that's a hard moral question for me. But I do know one thing. God never planned for us to be dependent on the Democrats. He planned for us to be dependent on him. But the Democrats are trying to take the place of God because everything they do saying, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that. So every time a Republican wins, they think the Republican's going to take away. I think for the most part, the Republican philosophy lends itself to self-help. To self-help, to being able to help yourself to the best. Because I'm telling you something. What happened to me at Cumulus Broadcasting? Listen. They got my attention. Never depend on somebody else. Ronald Reagan said it best. The worst thing you can hear is, I'm here, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help you. Well, it's kind of like being on the job. You know, don't put all your your eggs in one basket. Okay, I'm just saying. So while I'm like Gandhi, I don't like some of them Republicans, but I love their philosophy. The problem is some of them don't even adhere to their own philosophy. Okay, exactly. Charity starts at home, not the Democratic government. Absolutely. But everything they fight for is to take some money from somebody else so they can give it to you. So you can thank them. So you don't have to get on your knees and thank the good Lord above. Okay? You don't have to get on your knees to thank God. They want you to thank them. To thank them. Okay? I don't know, brother. I don't know if 13. So I got more than 13, my friend. But that's from that you're looking at one platform, probably on Facebook, but you're not looking you're not looking at the other platform. So don't worry about it. According to my record, I'm a lot more than that. But anyway, I'm looking at it too. But I don't really care. I don't care if just one person tunes into this show. I really don't. If it can change your life and change your mind, I'm good. Because I pride myself on using a little logic, little gumption, little logic, little horse sense. Because he that can give you everything can also take everything back. So as I looked at this list last night, Medicaid. Listen, everybody wants Medicaid. I mean, they gave me a Medicaid card, but I ain't never used it, and I thank God I've never really been sick. But I'm getting older, so I may get some at some point in time. Then I'm just going to go out to the VA because those are the only people that owe me anything because that was part of the contractual obligation when I joined the military. That's what they said. Hey, we're going to take care of you for the rest of your life. But the pains that I feel sometimes came from them. It came from us, but doing what we doing what we do. So everything they want safety nets, and a safety net. Okay, safety nets cost somebody money. It costs somebody. It makes somebody. Okay, okay. It costs somebody some money. The Republicans prefer to treat healthcare separately or resist large subsidy extensions tied to the continuing resolution. Okay, that's what they believe. The Democrats demand extension, permanence, ACA tax credit, and blah 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 blah. Well, if the government never loses money, so every time you get somebody a tax credit, they're going to take up some taxes on something else. Okay, I'm not mad. Okay, I'm not mad at people who are rich. We always blaming the rich people. Well, listen, you cannot get a job from a poor man. Can't get a job from a poor man. I mean, you can't pay taxes if you don't have a job. You can't help your own government if you don't have a job. So, I mean, who? I don't know who changes their mind. No, Donald, I don't know. I wouldn't imagine. But I've gotten letters and I've gotten phone calls from people saying, I never thought about it that way. Okay, so if I change one person's mind, we good. I don't care. Listen. If God can't change your mind, I can't. William Halsey said, who was an admiral back in the 19. He's the one that's given credit for winning World War II, at least Guadalcanal, and he said people don't really change their mind. what they do is they reevaluate the position by which they are going and go a different way. We don't change our mind. We change our direction. Okay. So if I can get you to change your directions, okay, I'm good. Okay. Because independence is what our Constitution is all about. All men are created equal and are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. Now, most of the people don't know what the word unalienable means. Unalienable means rights given by God, okay, and not by man. But the Democrats would have you think that every right you have came from them, but it did not, okay? So this is the problem with the Democratic Party. They want you to be dependent upon them. The Republicans say, well, whoever you depend on is up to you, but it won't be the government, okay? You know, if the government would get out of the healthcare business, you wouldn't need so many subsidies because they wouldn't have to they wouldn't take the price of everything up. When the government gets in bed, competes with private industry, the private industry loses. Okay. Now, do I think older people who work their butts off, ought to be entitled to something? Well, if they are of retirement age, and kids, I mean, that's a tough one because again, we are still dependent on somebody else. But we gotta keep our, we gotta help people when they get sick. I'm with you on that one. But exactly to what extent, I really don't know. But again, I've never really been sick, so that much, and Lord, hopefully it'll stay that way for a little while longer. But I do believe that from a humanitarian standpoint, that everybody ought to have access to medical care. But I think that you need to put a little bit in it. Okay, you need to put a little bit in it because every time you get some for free, you never ever appreciate it. And case in point, every time I rent a car, I don't care if I run on the curb or not. I don't. It ain't my car. I'm just, it ain't my car. But my car? Oh no. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna be careful about them potholes in the middle of the street and all that stuff. So giving things away free, even if we all know it isn't free, the taxpayers pay for all these things. But since we don't see them paying, then it's free. But that's a great question. I just don't know. Now if I don't know. Why? Here's a question: why is medicine so expensive? Then we turn around and we'll sell Mexico. The same Tylenol for $2, but we'll bring it, and this is because of our government. But we'll bring it back here and charge people $7 for it. So again, every time the government gets involved, prices go up. Okay, prices go up. They just go up. So I think therein lies more of the problem than the problem itself. Okay, let's take minimum wage. This is my favorite one. What it says, Democrats believe you should. Okay, Democrats believe you should your life as you see it. Republicans say, well, I think you have. Basically, let me remember for it. He said Democrats say you should live your life as you want. Republicans say you should live your life as they want. Okay, that's not necessarily true. I believe, and I can't speak for the whole Republicans. I'm not a Republican, but I do follow their philosophy. I think Republicans say what you do with your life It's up to you. But don't come to us when you screw it up because you made a plethora of dumb decisions. Okay. It's not my responsibility to pay for your mistakes. The Democrat says, hey, don't worry about it. You can mess up all you want to because we will take care of you. Like this whole thing about gambling. This whole thing about gambling. If you want to gamble, then that's fine. But take your own responsibility for it if you do. That's why if I run for office, I am going to ask for a gambler's card. You can't gamble in the state of Alabama unless you got this card. And when you get that card, you go into a gambler's database in Alabama. And if you don't get any public dollars, no food stamps, no free medicine, no nothing, if you have money to gamble, okay, if you have money to gamble, which I think would be more like a Republican philosophy, if you have money to gamble, then you don't need money from me to buy groceries. You don't need me to help you pay your rent. Okay, if you can gamble. But so when you go out to the PCI, the Porch Creek Engine place out there, which I ain't got no problem with them. Hey, listen, if I could get your money out of your pocket for free, I would take it too. I really would. I go out. I've been out there a couple of times, and I just see people glued to those machines, dollar after dollar after dollar after dollar, which is okay. It's your money, but don't come to us when you blow it all away. Okay, so yeah, Democrats, yeah, they say they believe that. Okay, they say they believe that, but the problem is that when you mess up, when you mess up your life, then now you want somebody to come help you out. Now you want some now the taxpayer or the churches got to go help you out. Okay, although I don't have a problem. Church want to give you money, that's on them. That's their money. That's their money. You know. But you gotta have some responsibility for what you do with your own life. And the Democrats want you totally, completely dependent upon them with their government programs. Yeah, that's what they want. Okay, I mean that's what they want. No gambling, no tattoo card, no tattoos card. Well, I don't know about tattoos. You know, listen, I think a bunch of tattoos look stupid on you, but hey, listen, that's a personal choice that people make. But then now, if you got a bunch of tattooed face and you wonder why you can't get a job, you wonder why you've been unemployed for a while. Well, that's probably why you've been unemployed. People don't want you representing their business with all kind of tattoos on your face. You know. Now, if you have a disability, if you have scars on your face, you were burned in a fire, something. We understand that. Okay, we're not going to hold you back because you were injured. But we certainly can deny you a job if you want to look like a fool with that tattoos on your face. I mean, I think that's crazy. Okay. When's the last time I paid for a woman, and take her out to dinner? Man, I don't be doing that. I don't be doing that. That's right. And Democrats believe that a man can have a baby. That's in their platform they do. Now, I would imagine that some Democrat people got sense like I do, and they know that's not true. But again, I mean, yeah. Now, Democrats believe you should. Yeah. No, they don't. No, they don't. Because if Democrats believe now, you see how? Okay, if Democrat philosophy believe that you should you should run your life as you see fit, then cut out food stamps, cut out Section 8, because you want to have 8 kids and nowhere to take care of them. That's on you, and that's on you. You want to have 5 kids, you want to have 8 baby daddies, and none of them paying child support. That's on you. I think personally, if you didn't have so many government programs, our behavior in this country would change a lot. Oh yeah, because I personally didn't want no 5, 6, 7. There were 8 of us coming up, and I'm telling you, I remember them days. Lights being turned off sometimes because we didn't have the money. Mama didn't have the money. Eating. But she made some great biscuits. I ain't gonna lie to you. My mother used to make some of the greatest biscuits in town. Biscuits and syrup. Sometimes we had biscuits and syrup, but we ate. I mean, she took care of us. But I didn't want to go there. I didn't want 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. We wasn't gonna do that no more. No. I learned my lesson. Okay, because you can't bring them here without taking care of them. Well, a lot of men do bring them here without taking care of them, but like my dad, he didn't take care of Jack. But that's okay. Men have issues too. Okay, men have issues too. I don't know where they came from. A gambling car. Here we go. Let me see what he says. Democrat. Oh, a gambling card should also be tied into buying alcohol. I'm with you. If you have money for beer, then you should be able to take care of other things. Okay, I mean, really. Hey, you want an alcohol card? Your alcohol card, your gambling card, all into one. Because if you don't want to be responsible, we'll make you responsible. Of course, some people would argue that crime would go up because these guys go out there and spend all their money at the machine on beer, and then they're going to rob people. Well, then we'll have stand your ground laws. Okay. A couple of young men learned that out the other day in Georgia. They went to somebody's house, and they're no longer. Somebody wants to know if you related to Ray Epps. I don't know. A couple of young folks died because they went in somebody's house trying to rob them. Okay. Well, one thing for sure, they won't be robbing anybody else. Okay. Gotta stop making excuses for them. Okay. What's it? Democrats believe in after school Satan clubs, but no prayer. They have done that. They have said, well, if you're going to teach this, you can teach that. Yeah, they have. They have done that. That's true. So anyway, one of the reasons why we about Republicans wanting to dictate how. No. They don't want to dictate. We'll let you. Excuse me. They'll let you dictate your own life, but you don't get to come back and say, "Hey, we need this," and we you don't get to throw your money away, and see now that's what I don't like about this new currency thing. What they call it, electronic currency. What's it called? Crypto. A cryptocurrency is going to change a lot of people's way of doing things. Okay, the government's going to see your money before you do. They already get your money before you do. They're going to be able to tell. They're going to be able to tell exactly what you spend every dime on. Okay, when it gets to the point, now it probably won't get to that point in my lifetime, but it's going to get to the point that you're going to have a crypto card. Okay. So you won't be able to spend a dime without somebody knowing what you spent your money on. And I can honestly see that every house in America, every person in America will have a machine in their house or in their wallet or something to carry with them to pay with that machine. If you got any change back, there won't be any change back because everybody's going to be using cryptocurrency. I don't think cryptocurrency is a great idea. I think it's another way for the government to spy on you. Okay. And I agree with you. It's a scam, but you won't know how much your dollar is not worth until you go to the store. And then what happens if you piss the government off, then what's going to happen? They'll stop your crypto. Okay. So you won't be getting a paper check, won't be no working under the table no more. Okay, you can't make a little extra money by going and cutting a little grass because everything's going to be crypto. You can't pay people in cash. Okay, so yeah. So while we do celebrate technology, technology right now is a dangerous place to be. Okay. I do need to go to the barbershop today, though. I plan to. Yeah, I need a haircut. Okay. Thanks for proving my point. Republicans wanting to dictate how one should live their life according to their narrow-mindedness and perceived moral superiority. Okay. Let us take that statement for what it's worth. Do you believe in law, Marcel? Do you believe in law? Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to put the number up, Marcel. So do you believe in law? Because every law, even the laws of nature, come based on somebody's morality. Every law does. So if you believe, seriously, if you believe that in law, in right and wrong, then you have to believe in somebody's morality. And it would be a sad world if none of us believed in morality. Okay, the question is, whose moral compass are we going to live by? Therein lies the question. Because the devil has a morality too. Okay, and he ain't a very good one, but he's got one. Okay, I'm just saying. So, if you believe in morality, so is that a bad thing, or is that a good thing? Okay, is that a bad thing or a good thing? Matter of fact, did I put my thing back on this thing? Okay, I didn't put my thing back on there. Okay, there we go. So anyway, let's go back to what we were doing. So having morals is not a bad idea, because it's probably the only thing. And then I ain't gonna lie to you, I haven't always paid attention to them. Sometimes I use them selectively. So, but it's the only thing that keeps us on the right. Now I hope you guys can hear my caller when we talk. Anyway, good morning.
Sergeant Elkins.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you something in reference to subsidies.
Okay.
What's your understanding of subsidies?
Well, my understanding of subsidies is that since the everything is worth something, everything has money attached to it. Okay. So, but if I, as a low income person, cannot afford the price that normally this service would go for, then I got $50, but you, and that's all I'm ever going to have is $50. Then the government will come in and pay that other $50 of that 100 for me, or at least a portion of it anyway. So
it doesn't have to be low income, because your statement was low income. You think Elon Musk is low income?
No, he's one of the richest people in the world. But he does do something different also. But now I think there's a difference, because he provides many jobs, and much tax base for people to work. And so he's not doing the public good.
So, and that becomes the crust of it right there, is we begin to see the value, and we begin to now think that what he doing is such great. But if I got a person out here that I'm just using healthcare,
right?
When the Affordable Care Act was passed, an insurance company could no longer not take Kevin. Even if they knew Kevin from day one, it's going to cost this company millions of dollars because of your medical condition. But the Affordable Health Care Act said you still had to take Kevin, even if he's a diabetic, even he's on dialysis, even if he has a pacemaker. We're going to take Kevin, and we're going to lose millions of dollars on Kevin. But the government says you have to insure Kevin. So Kevin cannot pay enough premiums because it's $1,200 a month. The government says Kevin pays $500. We will subsidize Kevin with $700. So you still have skin in the game. But you can't afford to pay the full premium, Kevin. So the government is subsidizing your health care costs.
And but the government,
hold on,
partly,
go ahead.
The government's partly the reason why the health care bill has gone up.
But again, I'm not debating that issue but what I'm saying is, when your initial answer to subsidies automatically indicted poor people, because you say if poor people, our mind when it goes to subsidies naturally goes to poor people.
Well, that's true.
And it's not. The farmer in Dothan that's growing peanuts is subsidized.
But
because
that's because the government, right? But that's because the government got involved with it. And
I'm not saying because, right. I'm just saying you never think about the peanut farmer. You automatically goes to low income people is my only point.
Okay.
Subsidies is there to kind of control the market for goods or services that we need from that farmer. And we can't pay the exorbitant cost what it costs him to get those products to market. So the government helps that. So we're not feeling the full brunt of it. And what I'm saying, Kevin, is when you think subsidies, you automatically think poor people, and you begin to say that they don't need it, their food stamps, their welfare. We shouldn't always think of the poor people. There's other industries that are being subsidized that's needed to offset the cost.
And that's true. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, the peanut people, they were paying people not to grow peanuts. I mean,
okay, but Kevin, do you ever think of that when you think of subsidies?
Well, no, I don't. No,
you don't.
I will admit to you, I don't. But the government. But I also know though, if the government gets out of the private venue of all these private and the Affordable Health Care Act, well, yeah, it ain't so affordable anymore.
Well, again, that's one of the things that the Democrats are saying is that if we do this continuing resolution with this big, beautiful bill, now these people, Kevin, that are challenged with healthcare costs, those barriers are going to be removed with subsidies, and these people are going to feel the full brunt of that healthcare costs. And people are already challenged financially. So, Kevin, I went to the dentist this morning and I had a procedure done. I paid a certain amount. My healthcare provider paid a certain amount. And then there was a certain amount that was subsidized by the government.
For you?
Yeah, because, they got agreed upon prices that if this procedure costs $1,200, the dentist only going to get maybe $700 because they got a negotiated price type deal. You don't get the full value, But what I'm saying is we need subsidies for these people. There's a group of people called ALICE. Mm-hmm. ALICE is an acronym for Asset Limited Income Constraint Employee. There's people that are working full-time jobs that are making less, that they call them the working poor.
Working poor, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because these people have limited income, it's constraint because now they're having to work one 8-hour job and leave that job and go work to a part-time job to try to make incomes meet because they're, I know you don't like, minimum wages. You said that we should negotiate our own wages. But the fact of the matter is the marketplace are paying people less than what the cost of living is. And if we don't have subsidies in place, Kevin, some people may say, Willie, insurance, auto insurance and homeowners insurance need to be subsidized. Or I can't pay your premiums. That's what Mr. Big C keeps saying. Willie, lower my premiums, right? But the reality of it is we need subsidies to be able to keep the marketplace so that people are not incurring the full cost.
But if would you say that if the government got out of the marketplace, these prices wouldn't go up so high?
No, I disagree. If the government got out of regulating speed, people would be going. If you said, Kevin, the government needs to get out of the place of regulating speed on the interstate, we should be able to drive as fast as we want.
That endangers people.
And that's what happens. Yeah. That's what happens if the government don't keep guardrails on industries. It endangers people because now, Kevin, in a free market, if you don't have certain, I think, controlled costs out there, Kevin, then we would have the peasants and the, what I'm saying? That's what happened when you go and look at these.
We almost got it now. The serfs.
Almost. But we got a protection out there. So again, I just think, again, we need subsidies to be able to kind of put a barrier there, because if you're Kevin Elkins was 40 years old and you didn't have all the benefits you have, and you was working at Cumulus and healthcare was $700 a month, for you, every 2 weeks out of your check, you're paying $1,400 for a family plan. Yeah, that's why they say so many people are going.
I wouldn't have no insurance.
And that's what the government is saying. So many people are going to drop out of the healthcare because of affordability. And that's why these people are going to become uninsured. Because what you just said, if you had to pay $700 every 2 weeks out of your check, you would choose to be uninsured.
Right. But let's not forget that government intervention is one of the reasons why our prices are so high.
Well, again, that may be true, and I'm not saying it is. That may be true, but the reality of it is you had to take $700 every 2 weeks out of your check, $1,400 a month. You would say, I'm not going to be insured. Then you get involved in an accident and you go to Baptist or Jackson.
Okay. Well, again, someone asked the question, what has Obamacare done for the Affordable Health Care? The Affordable Health Care Act was supposed to handle all of that, but it didn't because government's running it. It didn't. Okay. It just didn't. But I hear what you're saying. And again, listen, I'm not rich. I don't have lots of money in the bank. You know, I got to get out of here and go back. I got to go work my second job this morning. So that's what you got to do. As a matter of fact, if you guys want to check us out a little later on, I've got to leave around 8:30 this morning because I got to go to a place and do a podcast for Veterans Wellness Center on Monticello Drive. So, come on, see us. Morning, bud.
Morning, Kevin. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Just want to talk about the Affordable Care Act. Since your most recent caller mentioned that. He's talking about folks working multiple jobs. I'm a truck driver. 3 weeks ago, I worked 71 hours a week. I'm 61 years old, okay? So it's not just a matter of these folks are having to work one job. I mean, I'm working, as a truck driver, I'm only legally able to work 70 hours, but I work 71. And that ain't the first time it happened, okay? So you were talking about the ACA.
Mm-hmm.
Let's understand a few things. If we were to just go back to the ACA, Obamacare, okay, that wouldn't be a problem. But under COVID, Biden and the Democrats in Congress changed the rules. And they said, oh, illegals can't get health care under Biden's law during his administration. They changed it to where illegal immigrants and say, oh, it's not health care for illegals. Yes, it was. And so under Trump's Better America bill, they eliminated to where illegals could no longer get health care under that. And that's why they're saying, well, we need a 1.5 trillion, because what happened was where you have a very heavy illegal immigrant population, California, as a prime example, the federal government started paying for all the illegals to go and get health care. Now, if the Democrats say, okay, we'll just go back to the original Obamacare stipulations, the guidelines, and we no longer cover illegal immigrants, which happened again during the Biden administration, sure, the Republicans would jump at that. But that's not going to happen, because what happened was when California, as a prime example, they did this for them, billions of dollars rushed into the California healthcare system. And now it just didn't cover ER, which, by the way, the Supreme Court ruled you cannot deny ER care, whether you are legal or illegal. But all of a sudden, all the other ancillary medical benefits, counseling, PT, all these other things were now paid for by the federal government. And so when the Better American bill passed, that was siphoned out, that was stopped. And so now California and the other Western states, Chicago, New York, all these other states that are sanctuary states, they will lose tens of billions of dollars, which is propping up the state's economy. So as a conservative, if you want to go back just to what Obamacare originally was, that's fine. The Republicans would gladly do that. But understand this. Schumer is saying we want $1.5 trillion over the next 2 months just to take care, go back to what the Biden rules were. And that's why the Republicans saying, hell no. let's go back to what Obamacare was originally. But Schumer and these other Democrats are saying, no, we won't want the Obamacare was that was enacted under COVID.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Well, again, I don't know. The word affordable should be taken off that bill because from where I understand, a lot of people say they can't even, as a matter of fact, come January, according to the news papers, and healthcare is probably going to go up by 20%.
It is. But here's the deal.
So
I pay $217 a week for my health care as a truck driver for just me and the wife. And guess what? Under Obamacare, it recently passed. Listen, I've had a vasectomy. My wife has a hysterectomy. We have 0.000 to the nth degree of us having a child. But under Obamacare, we have to pay for maternity.
see, that's
Does
great.
that make any sense?
Now, and again, with the government, so y'all got to pay for in Obamacare. You actually got to pay for that coverage.
Well, and it did because under the original Obamacare, the insurance companies said you must, if we're going to buy into this, we want this to be paid for. Maternity care is one of those issues.
One of our listeners says, one of our listeners said,
Obamacare is fine. Should it not be a cafeteria plan?
Yeah.
As an example, if I was blind, I'm not, obviously I'm a truck driver, should I have to pay for vision?
Well, no, but somebody told me to tell you that's too much information.
In the same situation, me and the wife, it's impossible physically to get pregnant. Why should we pay for maternity?
Brother, I'm with you. Again, that's the government for you.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Actually, it's not just the government. It's the insurance companies talking to the politicians. Yeah. If we're going to do this, then you have to mandate X, Y, and Z so that way we can make a profit off of people like me and my wife that's impossible to get pregnant, to pay into the pool for an insurance that we cannot use.
All right, then.
And so, I mean, how can any Democrat out there say, well, yeah, I think Bud should pay for maternity. And even if I had a side, I don't have a side.
Listen, I think your call.
If I had a side woman,
your call.
I can't get her pregnant, right?
What your call today requires this. The most important call of the day: having to pay for maternity when you've been clipped and dipped.
It goes back to common sense, and that's one thing about Trump is where is the common sense?
Yeah.
And I would just ask the previous caller or anybody else who wants to call in, where is the common sense? If we want to talk about healthcare,
yeah,
should it not be a cafeteria plan? If Kevin, maybe you're sterile, maybe you're not, maybe you're very fertile. Should you be forced to pay? Should you be forced to pay for maternity leave? Pay for maternity benefits?
And the state of Alabama came up with something recently where if you happen to have a baby, you get 8 weeks off, and you and the man gets 3 weeks, I think, or 4 weeks, and you get 8 with pay.
Unless you're Buttigieg, the former secretary treasurer, him and his gay husband, whatever you want to call it.
It is, yeah.
He took 3 months off.
Yeah,
we all paid for that. You know that?
So the things we're doing. Hey man, I got to go because I got to leave early today. I got to leave early today because I have to go and do something. But I got to go to Veterans Wellness Center, which is over. If you're a veteran, come on over, and we'd like to show you some of the things that they're doing over there. But you don't have to be just a veteran. David uses a type of medical process that doesn't involve drugs, doesn't involve a scalpel, and evidently it's working. He uses electricity. It is really interesting. Okay. All right, man. I can give you about a minute, then I got to run.
All I need is 1 minute. I want one question answered.
Mm-hmm.
What have your Trump administration brought to the table for his insurance. He said years ago that he's gonna have this nice insurance wrapped in a bow. When are they gonna talk about insurance, Calvin?
Again, it's not the government's job to provide you with insurance.
No. He said that he was gonna make it better. Take Obamacare and come with something better on the table. He ain't bought shit on the table. Nah.
Okay. Well, listen, I hear you. We'll be back. I gotta go. Normally, I don't cut it short, but I gotta go to Veterans Wellness Center today because being the only veteran talk show host in town, I have to go over there and we're gonna do a couple of things over there today to promote the place. So 5911 Monticello Drive. If you are a vet or not a vet, you want to come over there and see the things that goes on. If you got pain, constant pain, your knees, your back, whatever the case may be, come talk to him and see if he can help you guys out. Listen, I'm saying I got some kids who play for one of the high school teams here. They play for one of the high school teams and football teams, and he swears by it. I mean, I didn't ask; it was unsolicited confirmation of what they do over there at Veterans Wellness Center. So, do a show from the barbershop. Hey, maybe I'll do that one day. I could do that though. Yeah, I could actually do that at the barbershop, but we'll see. Anyway, so I gotta go, people. I'm sorry I had to leave a little early today, but I'm pretty sure y'all won't be missed. But I'll play this. We'll play this over again later on tonight or for the weekend, and we will see how it goes. Do a show from the barbershop. Yeah, I might do that. What's this guy says? We pay for cigarette lighters, ash cans, when purchasing a vehicle, but I don't smoke. It's not a perfect system. That's true too. I pay for the ash. Yeah, me too. I don't smoke either. Jackson Hospital. Oh, what? Jackson Hospital warns of possible closure in 30 days without new funding. I thought we figured that out already. Okay, I thought, of course, if you're a Democrat, the pregnancy rate going to go up because they think men can have babies. So, but that's a whole. That's a whole different story. We'll just leave that alone. Anyway, got to go. Don't forget. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. Hopefully next week I'll have a lot more guests. I don't know what happened to Jamel. I don't know what happened to Jamel Brown. He was supposed to come over and tell us all this great plan for the state of Alabama. Maybe he didn't want to come to the big dog, but I'm going to be nice to him. So if y'all see Jamel Brown out there, tell him that he's running for governor. He got to talk to all of us now. He just can't talk to the ones he likes. Okay. All right. Anyway. Thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully tell your friends about us in the morning. This is the only show in Montgomery where you can actually have the conversation without fear of reprisal from the host. I don't agree with some of that crap y'all say, but hey, you got a right to say it. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Okay, sometimes I'm a hypocrite. Not really. It is not the falling down that gives you the strength. It is getting up every time you fall. So my advice for you today, no matter how many times you fall, keep getting up. Sooner or later, you'll be strong enough to stay up. Have a great weekend, because today it's like my weekend. I don't do shows on Friday unless somebody pays me a lot of money to do it. And so far, nobody's offered. So I like 3-day weekends. I really do. But who knows? I may do it tomorrow just for the hell of it because I got to leave early. I may do a show, 1 hour show. We never know. Anyway, have a great day. And remember, it is a great day, an outstanding day to be alive. See ya. I wouldn't want to be you, though.